All right. Good morning, everyone from the Philippines, from the shake, rattle, and roll of the Philippines. How is everybody doing today? It is beautiful day. No, it's not. It's overcast this morning here on the beautiful island of Siargao. Waking up, trying to get the coffee in me, the blood flowing. I get up at 7 o'clock every morning. My alarm is set for 7 o'clock every morning. It beeps. I hit that snooze once or twice, then I'm up. I'm up, start my day. During the week, everybody downstairs, the kids, they're all pretty much out the door on their way to school. And it's just me, Lut, and her mom. It's quiet, peaceful. And then I would say on average, 11 o'clock at night, I'm asleep. That is my routine. And I take a nap in the afternoon, the over 40 nap. Edwin, good morning there, Philly. Glad you're safe. Next time, tell Lut to protect her head instead of the TV. Yeah, that was her thing. She grabbed the TV, and her mom grabbed the refrigerator because that thing was shaking. It was crazy. Blue Jays. I am going with the Blue Jays since the Phillies lost. Glad the shaking there was minor. Yeah, I mean, I could say that was the most strongest earthquake I was ever in. Now, some people may have been in. You get down south there to where, right there, DAVAO area. They're getting the hard shakes there. I just seen where it ranked in the top 10 strongest earthquakes in the Philippines, and it ranked kind of up towards the top. So it was shaken. Davao Don, hello Davao Don, thanks for joining. Brian Simpson, howdy from Ventura, California. Thanks for stopping in again, Brian. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah. I wonder if Philly be wearing Dodgers blue today. Nah, no Dodgers blue. You know what? Good for the Dodgers. Once again, Philadelphia lets its fans down. I wasn't expecting them to, after the season, of course, started the series, you expect them to win, you know what I mean? Win that first round. But then when they lost, that old feeling that comes back on you from the past couple years with the Phillies getting in, winning division, but then never, winning in the World Series, that sinks back in. And then you get the little glimmer of hope when the Phillies win one. You know what I mean? But yeah, they didn't get swept. They didn't get swept. So that's a good thing. Where are we at? Go Dodgers. Wheezing, coughing. How are you doing? At my Phillies and the Eagles, I am not an Eagles fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. You guys should know that. A lot of you guys know that. Some of you don't. Any day the Eagles lose any given Sunday or Thursday night or Monday night, any night they lose is a good night for me. However, I will give them this. Being from Philly, hearing the fans throughout the years, the Eagles or the Eagles can't get there. They can't win a Super Bowl. Then they get there and the excitement, and then they lose. And just the years of the Philly Eagles fan drama and their attitude, and You know, when they did win a championship, when they did win their Super Bowl with Nick Foles, all right, I was glad for him. I was happy for him. You finally got it. You know what I mean? You finally got it. Then you got a second one. Cool. Good for you. You got two. We got five. We have five. The Phillies choked. Yes, they did. All aboard, Croker. Croker, thanks for stopping in. Flyers lost too. It was a sad weekend for Philadelphia diehard sports fans. It was a sad week. Nobody could win one. Sixers tied at halftime. Are they playing? I don't know. Did they start the season? Couldn't tell you. Um, let's knock off the Phil. I was only 2 minutes late. I was good to go. 2 minutes late. Actually, Bruce, what happened was I sat down. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. I sat down. I was getting ready. I brought up the live. I was getting ready to click go live, and my nose was stuffy. So I don't think you want to hear me with my nose during a live stream, right? That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Ricky USA. Hello, Ricky. How are you doing today? Thanks for stopping in. Life in the Philippines traveler. We were shaking and rolling and dancing here in the Philippines. Oh, yeah, we were. Saw the exciting video today. Yes, we are okay. Thanks for asking, Jim. We just had a nice little rumble. Bruce gets up at 5:50 a.m. every morning. I believe it. 7 days a week. I believe it. I'm 7 days a week too. Mike, our Philippine journey. God, that guy gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. You get stuck on what you're used to. You know, if you're a party person and you like to drink and hang out and do the nightlife and all that, you know, you're going to get up, I don't know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock or so, if that. Depends on how you party. Um, you got people that are like a midnight people. You know, they have worked those shifts their whole life and their body's just used to it and they keep it on that same schedule. I don't know. Creatures of habit, right? Copico coffee. Oh, it's 3-in-1. I like 3-in-1. Arturo, good morning. How are you? I like 3-in-1 creamy latte, but they changed it. They put some caramel flavor in it a couple months ago. USA forever. Thank you for stopping in. Yeah. Hope you guys are holding up well. Social media, they realized didn't have, we I don't know how many deaths they've um said happened down there in the Davao City region area. Um, I know they say at least two. I've heard rumors that a roof, a building collapsed on a school. I don't know. Like I said, it's rumors. Um, I think something like that would be on the news. Now, I haven't really looked hard into the news, but I'm sure that would be on the news. Um, People yelled at me. Retire 6123. Never going to set an alarm again. Good for you, running man. Enjoy your retirement. Sometimes that alarm's just built in. You know what I mean? There are times I'll wake up before my alarm goes off and I'm awake. Mitch Bromwell. Thank you, sir, for stopping in. Congratulations, running man 2021. Yes, congratulations. It's now it's going to be time to enjoy life, right? Life in the Philippines travel. I posted pictures on my YouTube channel of the earthquake from Facebook. We in the new fault line here in Dumaguete. I know somebody did say they felt it in Dumaguete. Um, Baltimore and Bill. Where are we at here? Go down. Joe Hardy. Have a good day. You have a good day too. Anders Jasper Jackson. Good morning. Good to see you. Got through the quake. Thank you. Yes, we did. Scott B. And now all the Cowboys cheerleaders from their past championships games are now in nursing homes. Hey, could be. I've heard them jokes. You know, the last time, here's a good one I seen the last time. Oh, the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. Oh, it was a selfie of the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, right? That was the caption, right? And it's some cheerleaders and there's, other people around and they're holding up the old phone. You know what I mean? The old phone we grew up with. Most of you are of my age, where it was connected to a base and had a cord on it. This is before cordless cell phones and all that. You know what I'm saying? And they're holding one of those phones up. All right, I get it. I get it. I laugh at them. When I see them, I laugh at them. I just got to have a sense of humor. You can't take sports, especially, so serious. But people do. People do. Where are we? Good morning. I don't know how to pronounce that name, that symbol, but good morning to you. You're speaking in English. I always tell people, well, here's a weird thing. Sometimes I will get comments, my channel and videos, and it's in Tagalog sometimes, or it could be in Korean. And I have no clue what they're saying, and I just erase them. I don't know what they're saying. Tagalog, I can get Lut to interpret for me, but I don't know. That's just me. That's how I've been. You go to bed around 5 a.m. Good morning, Jason Pike. Thanks for stopping in. Brian Simpson says, shout out to Leah and Blair Slog for their good work reuniting Phil-Am children of the U.S. military station in the Philippines. So a shout out to Lee and Blair Slong for their good work reuniting Phil-Am children of U.S. military station in the Philippines. I can believe that. I can believe that. I know for a fact there are women in the United States, or I'm sorry, in the Philippines, that are still searching for a boyfriend or maybe even a husband from when the military base was stationed here. Their heart is still like broken and hurt from years ago. And you've got children here. I can believe it because I had a woman come up to me. Where we were at? I forget. We were at birthday party or one of them, a Filipino woman. She was older. She came up to me and she was like crying and, here's the name of him. Is there any way you can help me out? Or is there any way I can find how I can reunite with him? And so, yeah, I believe it. But hey, if they're doing a good deed and a good job, you know what I mean? Good for them. They're doing a good deed. That's good. Scott says, I worked most of my life on the night and in the USA, slept till 4 p.m., go to bed around 7 a.m. And in PI, get up at 5 a.m. to sleep till 10 p.m. Nice thing is, and sleep at 10 p.m. Nice thing is I never get jet lag that way. Eh, 4 to 7. So you reversed your sleeping pattern. Guys that do third shift, good for them. I've done third shifts, and I don't know. I'm the kind of person I want to be active and moving. So when I do third shift, it's when I did third shift at the prison. Yeah, it's quiet. It's quiet. I mean, to an extent, there's still noises in the block, but there's no big movements. There's no this. There's no, you know what I mean. And to me, it was like boring. But once again, I was getting paid good money to be bored. And second shift, I didn't mind second shift. I was on the Big Island in Hawaii when a 7.2 earthquake hit. It shook like a minute and a half. Wow. A minute and a half. That's a good shake. Yesterday's shake, I don't know what they last 40 to 50 seconds. It was a good one. And the thing is, all right, Arturo, take care. Have a good time at the market. Old dome looks great. Thank you. It needs a shave every 3 days. The hair grows in a little bit and I can give it a shave. Lowell. Hello from Oregon. God bless. Hello, Lowell. Thanks for stopping in. I'm probably way behind on all the comments. I apologize. I get rambling. Jeffrey, good morning from Angeles City. Still stationary. Not a whole lot of shaking going on. Jerry Lee Lewis. The Leah and Blair song was a travel channel until they two were approached to please help a lost film, and it changed their lives. Yeah. Leah and Blair song was a travel channel. YouTube travel channel. Sometimes these people come to the Philippines and the Philippines impacts their life in different ways. For example, the one girl that had that she's not here on the island anymore. She still has a YouTube channel, Island Barbie, a blonde haired girl, younger girl, came here to Sherga Island and just kind of fell in love with the Filipino community, and you know they were very accepting of her. I mean, she's a good-looking woman. You know what I mean? But it affected her and impacted her life so much. Um, she opened up a business here. People recognized her all over, but that drew her here. And the thing is, she's young. She's not here. She did a couple years here and back to the States for whatever reason she has. But yeah, it can affect, people. And, like helping find uh, lost loved ones, um, the Filipino women that fell in love with the military guys and all that. I mean, there's something out there for everybody to do, but you can't get involved in the politics part of the Philippines either because that'll get you in trouble. Stay away from the politics here. Stay away. Uh, like, do not get involved. Do not voice your opinion at a town hall. Do not talk to the neighbors and talk bad about politics. Let the Filipino people do that on their own. You can voice your opinion. Like I can voice my opinion to my wife. I think this, and this is wrong here, and this and this, and um, she can voice her opinion about the states to me and everything like that. But I don't go out and blab it around. I mean, I'll talk to my brother-in-law. He speaks English, and uh, but they don't get stick your nose into the politics. That can be it could not work. It can wind up bad for you in many different ways. Ah, here, surfing Blackies. My brother has a condo in DAVAO on the 16th floor. The balcony railing has a crack. Yeah, Lut hates, like, don't get me wrong, she likes the condo, you know what I mean? The layout of a room and everything, but she hates being high in a condo. And when we were down in CDO the last time, we were like 22 floors up high. And we were at friends of ours in Manila. They live in a condo. I forget what floor they're on. They're up there, 30 some floor. Um, and we were up there, and there was a little earthquake up there a few years ago, and the chandeliers, and like Lut freaks out. Like we'll never live in like a condo above 2 floors. Looks like 2 floors is good. All right. But yeah, she don't like, because of that. Just because of that, it freaks her out. And I can understand why. You're in a condo, uh, in a bad earthquake. It's crazy. You know, you're gonna run down the stairs that quick. Like people are yelling at me. I can't believe you stayed in the room. You needed to get outside. You're dumb. You're this. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. Here's my thing. All right. What if a news reporter ran from a story? All right. Everybody is running that way, screaming and hollering and in panic. All right. What if the news reporter runs with them? Or that news reporter runs to the scene of what's going on, and he is the only one in there filming, right? He's going to get the story, right? And I am Walter Cronkite, and this is what's going on. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I don't know if it's bred in me. Those that work in corrections work with prisons and jails, and those, I can't compare the job and the threat of the job. But those in police officers, ICE units, um, even military, you can throw it in there. Like it's bred in a lot of people in those work environments. We're reacting to a situation. What if the police ran the other way? Hey, there's a shooting up the road and they ran the other way. No, their brain is programmed, run, see what you can do, see how you can help. Um, that's how our brains are kind of programmed. So when things rattle around, my heart don't jump. I don't get that that initial rush of blood. You know what I mean? Sort of like you know what I mean. And so it doesn't push me like run from fear. So that's why I did it. Should I have ran outside? Probably. You know what I mean? That's what a normal human being would do during an earthquake, run outside. Um, the girls came home from school early. And I'm like, did they send you home from school? And they're like, yeah, yeah. They got home early. And then after they got home, a couple hours later, I get a notification on my phone from the school saying, due to the recent threat of a tsunami, we have released, there's no school for the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the day, and everything like that. I'm like, well, yeah, I know they're home. You know what I mean? But I asked them, I said, they do have earthquake drills here in the Philippines when it comes to the school. Sort of like when we were on the school bus. You guys remember the school bus, the yellow bus. I'm not talking the short bus. I know there's some of us that rode the short bus and some of us like me that should have been riding the short bus, but I wasn't. Remember we used to have the fire drills, and I always got picked to help the kids come off the bus. So you open a fire drill and, we would have them at the school. But the kids here have the earthquake drills at school. So I asked Bing and Nini and Ling Ling, what is your protocol? What do you guys do? I said, do you stay in? Do you go underneath your desk? She's like, no, we go outside. So they go outside because their school is the room they're in is just one level. And they're big open rooms. And they don't have a ton of stuff hanging on the, from the roof and all that, like lamps and shades and lights and all that. So they go outside. Now, when Bing was up in Angeles City, she was in a school that was multiple levels. So they used to go underneath their desk. So there is a protocol for that here in the Philippines. But the weird thing is I see videos because Filipinos will grab that phone. They're going to grab that phone. They're going to film. They're going to put it on social media. They're going to put it on their Facebook. They're going to put it on their TikTok. They're going to grab that phone and they are going to film when things like this happen. So I'm seeing like films of like these, it appeared to be like college kids in a auditorium setting, right? And boom, shake, rattle, and roll. And, people are panicking and they're looking and they're getting down. And, you can see things falling from the roof. And I'm like, okay, well, somebody should be doing, how are you protecting yourself? What are you taught? And then I did look and I seen a couple Filipinos with the plastic chair up over their head and they were crouched down. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you're following that protocol. But when things like this happen, people panic. You will panic. You've been trained in school to protect yourself from an earthquake, but they'll panic. People will panic. And that's where people get hurt too. The stampedes of people rushing out of a building. And, but yeah, there was a couple that were smart enough to grab a chair and put it over them. But yeah, all these videos were just, crazy, crazy. My thumbnail for this video, that was in Butuan. You have Butuan, which is, part of Mindanao as you're coming up through. And that's the Robinson Mall right there in Butuan. A couple months ago, Lut and I were staying in the Go Hotel there right next to the mall. And we walking around in that mall. And but that's a thumbnail. That happened in Butuan. So that earthquake stretched up through and was strong enough to cause damage like that up in Butuan. Trying to think. I had a lot of people said that, if you were probably on the island of Mindanao, you felt it, period. Ricky USA. In elementary school, they told us to get under our desk if there was a nuclear attack. Yeah. Here you go, Bruce. I remember nuke bomb drills back 65 years ago when the Cold War was going on. Yeah. They were doing that too, teaching the kids how to prepare for it. Now that's a man-made disaster. You know what I mean? Um, this is natural disaster. Nothing we can do about it, but ride it out, sit back, and you know, pray that everything and everybody's okay. Um, then here's the weird part. Right? Here, this isn't even. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird. Uh, um, here's the weird thing. Right? Last night, Luis, look, everybody here went up north to um, the viewing. My friends of the family, I think it's my mom's half sister, stepsister, one of that. Her sister passed away, so they all went up north for the viewing, and I was here, and I got up, came over, went to get my pill, to take my pill, and I went back to the bed, and I could hear the window rattle right here. This window. When there's a little shake and shimmy, that window rattles like it clicks, right? So I'm like, I hearing this, and I'm thinking, wait, is that another earthquake, or was that me just walking across the floor and the window rattling? So I laid down, and no, I could feel it rattling. I could hear it rattling. Then I looked, and I could feel the room moving again. You know, is that me moving? Tell you what, it's something feels like feels like there's a little shimmy, but maybe it's my brain. Anyways, of course, I grabbed my camera, showed it again, and I'm like, was that an aftershock? Like aftershock, or was that another earthquake? So I'm trying to find it. I'm searching, latest update. All of a sudden, I start getting messages on my phone. The ping, the alert, the this, the that, and it said that it was a second earthquake. So that's two earthquakes within 24 hours here. The first one was a 7.4. The second one, which happened around 7 o'clock in the evening last night, was a 6.8. So that was two of them, like in 24 hours. And they're claiming it wasn't an aftershock. And then what happens is all of a sudden I get notifications that those on the coastline evacuate from the coastline because of threat of tsunami warning. That's when I knew. Then I'm looking down going, well, the times are weird. They're saying, yes, it's October of 2025, the 10th, but it's saying 7:12:04 p.m. until like 9:12:04 p.m. So I was like, those are different times than the time before. So there was a second earthquake. Like I said, I get these notifications here. And that one had a little rattle to it also. And then letting them get home, they're like, yeah, we felt it. And so I don't know. What are the protocols even here in the Philippines when it comes to, here's one you got to think of too. I'm rambling. If you guys are still hanging in there. If I dropped about 5 people, then I'll shut up. All right. I was on the big island in Hawaii when it hit. Shallow earthquakes cause more damage. Yeah, I went on to the Philippines volcanology website and I was looking at it because all day long, you're thinking about it. Holy shit, we're have another one. Um, and I was looking, and it updates you on the most current earthquake activity. So I could see the one that happened in the morning, and then it starts showing like some of the aftershocks. So they're saying there's aftershocks, but they're small, like a 1.2. They're small to where you really don't even feel it. But yeah, there was multiple aftershocks. Here's what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking, right? Philly's thinking again. It's either going to be good or bad, right? What did they do? Because my brother-in-law, Norvelin, he works up north, up outside Pacifico. Um, his boss asked him to come up there and run the one restaurant. And it's more relaxing up there for him. He likes it. It's peaceful. And he said what they did was they came through that area. When I mean they, the local police, the local whatever, they came through that area on Bullhorn, riding around. And I'm not talking on Filipino time, like right off. And they were telling people to evacuate along the coastline there, move higher ground and everything like that. So that was like their warning siren. There was no siren, but that was their way to notify everybody that, hey, let's get off the coastline. But I was wondering, what do they do in, say, like General Luna, the tourist area? What do they do over there? You've got people that are coming here from wherever, wherever. A lot of younger crowd. They got the surfing competition going on now, big event. How do they warn them people? Or do the people even think anything of it? What I mean, the people, I'm thinking the tourists, these young tourists, uh, do they get panicky? I don't know. I don't know what they do as far as letting people know. And I don't know. I mean, the Filipino people themselves, they're going to take heed. They're going to take warning. Well, the tourists just keep going on doing their everyday thing. You can think about it. Remember that the tsunami that ripped through Thailand a couple years ago. I remember watching it on the news, and I'm like, that's some major devastation there. A lot of those people were tourists, just like the tourists here. A tsunami comes in, they didn't take heed, or they didn't, listen to the warning, and you have major devastation going on. Um, you wonder. You wonder if they even let the people know that are staying at the resorts. you know, I would want to know. Then again, everybody's surfing, so maybe they'll, these guys, they'll hop on a wave, they'll ride a tsunami wave in. You know, some of these surfers here. Ah, yeah, Christmas time. Yes, Bo. what would they do if the tsunami is going to hit Manila in 24 hours? Nothing. Nothing. What can you do? Uh, wow, that's a huge city, and I wouldn't even want to think about it. Like that's something of biblical proportions. You know what I mean? You think about something like that, you think of like a movie that you watched on TV where like all these natural disasters start happening. Typhoons and thunderstorms and fire, and fire and brimstone raining down on the American and on the world. And here's the thing. See, now you got me thinking again. Right? You got these uh, um, end of the day people. There's been so many end of the day people in history, right? The one where, Jim Jones and his Kool-Aid drinking crew, and you had the other guy who about, I don't know, what was it, about a spaceship or something that was going to come by and take his people, and he wound, these end of the day doomsday people. All right. So you got these people popping up, and they're popping up on my Facebook feed, right? Like, oh, another one. The end of the days is coming. Now, I heard this a couple months back, something to do with an object in space making its way to Mother Earth, but they don't quite know what it is. Right? Now, people are saying that's the ones that believe in the aliens. All right, you want to believe in aliens? Believe in aliens. They're saying it's a ship coming here to America, to the world, and the other theorist people are saying we're having multiple earthquakes. We're having multiple this. Everything is setting up for the big one. Volcanoes. They were specifically saying, like the Philippines, volcanoes. They're all bubbling. They're all bubbling. And at a certain time and day, I'm talking near future, they're saying, all volcanoes at once in the Philippines are going to boom. They're going to blow up, causing massive devastation, earthquakes, and this and that. And the fumes from all the volcanoes are going to filter into the jet stream and filter into the ocean streams. And within so many years, all of Mother Earth, life as you know it, will be extinct because of the fumes. Like, these are all the people that are going out there and, creating all these crazy doomsday scenario things. Oh, yeah. Those are not any messages I need to worry about. Aliens show up in the USA, we will deport them. There you go. Here's the thing. I believe in UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Yes, I do. Not the unidentified flying objects that host the aliens. I personally don't believe they're aliens, period. I don't. Some people do, some people don't. They want to say the aliens built Stonehenge. The aliens were around during the Egyptians' time because somebody painted a head with a long, a face with a long head on it, with a cap. And you ever think the head was normal, the cap was long? I don't believe it. I don't believe in that. The Martians, not my thing. But UFOs, yes. I do not believe in Bigfoot. With technology nowadays and all these Bigfoot hunters out there, they'd have found one by now. I don't believe in Loch Ness Monster. I do believe in the supernatural. I do believe in ghosts and spirits. That I do believe in. I'm a Ghostbuster, right? What are you going to call Ghostbuster? Brian, you can now grow back natural hair. I have My sides are thick. My head is thin, and the back is a little like all through here is good hair. This up here is no good hair. It's easier to shave it. Anyways, guys, I am going to wrap this one up. I know 45 minutes. This is my last and final live of the week. Um, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thank you, everybody that has stopped in and participated every day in the live. Greatly appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that stops in. BT and Betty, Bigfoot lives in Mount Orion. Could be doing laps in there. But yeah, thank you for stopping in. Something I wanted to try. Never did a week-long live stream every day. I wanted to kind of look and see how it works with the algorithm, works with YouTube, works with this, works with that. I can't, I have to wait and look at the analytics of my channel to see if it really did anything, affected anything. But yes, Joey's channel, are you on a higher ground if a tsunami does hit? Yes, we are. Thanks for stopping in. Anyways, I'm going to get going. I think Lut and them are going to head back up north for the actual funeral where they bury and all that. I didn't go up with them. I went up. I paid my respects. I'm going to stay here. That's what they're going to be doing. And I'll probably run into town to grab something. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Anyways, guys, once again, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for all your comments. Those that have given super chats, thank you very much. I know go Dodgers for the Dodgers fans. Speaking of, I got to find an item in town. I don't know if I can find it or not. It'll be be interesting. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.